The version of DC you thought you knew, it's gone. Not a comeback, not a rebound, an evolution. While people argue about office vacancy, try getting a table at the Wharf after 7 p.m. without planning ahead. Buzzer Point went from warehouse silence to anthem bass rattling your chest. And east of the river, you've got joggers on the Anacostia Riverwalk at sunrise in places folks wouldn't even roll their window down 5 years ago. That's not a pitch deck, that's the street. DC peaked before the pandemic, dipped, and now it's stabilizing. But it's not rebuilding into the old commuter version. It's becoming more lifestyle driven, more intentional, more I chose this, not just my job is here. Fergate at 8:45 a.m. feels lighter, while Union Market at 8:45 p.m. feels louder. This isn't lipstick, it's foundation. And when the city shifts like this, some neighborhoods level up, some sit still, and most people don't realize which one is which until prices already move. It hit me a few months ago, 8:45 in Fergate, suits moving fast, escalators humming, coffee lines wrapping around the block. Fast forward to 9:30, that same night, and now I'm at the Wharf, the anthem bass rolling across the water, patios packed, kids running the boardwalks like it's a Friday in June. Same city, same day, two completely different rhythms. DC used to revolve around badge swipes. Now it revolves around what people actually want to be. That shift is the inflection point, and most folks are still arguing about the headlines. DC used to turn its back on the river. Now the river runs the city. This isn't cute infill. This is billions of dollars and over 3 million square feet rewriting how DC lives. Look at the Wharf. Phase 2 didn't just add buildings, it finished the transformation. Hotels, luxury residential, rooftop stack, restaurants layered on restaurants. Stand outside off Facina at golden hour, you'll see boats sliding in. The anthem bass hitting the docks, the smell of Old Bay drifting from Del Mar while Mi Vida glows upstairs. And this happening while downtown office vacancy sits above 20%. The old rule was live near work. Now, work isn't pulling it like it used to. Slide east of Audi Field and Buzzer Point, what used to be warehouses is now residential density wrapped around stadium lights. The Stacks is a 2 million square foot master plan. That's stadium-led regeneration done right. Then you hit Capitol Riverfront, not up and coming, completion wave. The infill is largely built. National Park anchors it. Retail is sticky. Multifamily absorption is steady, even while office struggles. That tells you demand is lifestyle driven, not commute driven. And the long play, Poplar Point, 110 acres of riverfront transitioning from federal to local control. Add RFK Stadium, nearly 190 acres waiting for reinvention. That's generational land. The pattern is clear. DC growth is hugging water. At 7 a.m., paddleboards cut through glassy river water and cyclists hammer the river walk. At 9 p.m., lights reflect on the water while music bounces across the docks. It feels coastal. In DC, this isn't about commute convenience. It's about vibe convenience. When experience outperforms proximity to federal office buildings, values reposition. If you're thinking, that's the DC I want, don't guess your way into a waterfront building. Floodplain positioning matters, HOA reserves matter, insurance volatility matters. Some buildings look better on Instagram than they perform long term. We walk clients through this every week. We are the local real estate DC real estate team of choice for relocation buyers and locals repositioning inside the city. This is our backyard. If you're even considering a move, call us, text us, or email us. All of our contact information is in the description below. Water is the vibe, transit is the engine. If you want to see where DC grows next, follow the rail map. Starting in Noma, 15 years ago it was parking lots. Now it's glass towers, Alethea Tanner Park full of dogs, Red Bear brewing loud on a Friday, and Red Line humming underneath it all. The city's housing pipeline is deep, and the heaviest clustering sits around the Red and Green Line corridors. Developers build where infrastructure lowers risk, and in DC metro proximity still stabilizes value. Hybrid work changed the rhythm, not the importance. Ridership is climbing, but still below 2019 peaks, so it's less crushing, more flexibility. 2 or 3 commute days instead of 5. Transit now equals optionality. Mid-morning at Noma, Gallaudet, Train doors slide open, escalators hum, and movement feels steady rather than chaotic. Now, slide the Union Market District, long term, millions of square feet planned. And in post-2020, the tilt is residential heavy, structural, not cyclical. On a Saturday, the Oyster Bar is packed and H Street's energy spills down the corridor. That ecosystem runs on red line access and proximity to Union Station. Union Station isn't just historic marble, it's a regional anchor. Amtrak expansion tied to the Northeast Corridor strengthens DC's mega region role. More trains, more throughput, more regional flow feeding Noma, Capitol Hill, and the core. Then layer in Long Bridge expansion across the Potomac, rail capacity between Virginia and DC doubles, more MARC, more VRE, more cross-border flexibility. Infrastructure outlives cycles. Look at Navy Yard, Green Line waterfront, stadium, residential density. That stack absorbs supply even while downtown office vacancy sits above 20%. Transit plus lifestyle beats transit alone. Quick question for you. If you were moving tomorrow, are you choosing walk to the metro or walk to water? Drop it below, because the next phase of DC growth isn't just about access, it's about who benefits when that access drives appreciation. Downtown DC isn't dead, it's recalibrating. Office vacancy sitting north of 20% compared to under 10% before 2020. That swing feels dramatic, but here's the nuance. Federal employment didn't collapse. Regional GDP remains among the highest per capita in the country. The jobs are still here. The square footage just isn't used the same way. Downtown residential population is climbing even while office leasing lags. Hybrid work isn't a phase, and 5-day badge swipes aren't coming back at scale. So the core is pivoting from the commuter density to residential density. Multifamily absorption stabilized across transit-adjacent districts while office struggled. People still want to live here, they just want to live differently. Downtown isn't collapsing, it's shedding monoculture. And when the central business district starts adding residents instead of just chasing tenants, that's long-term resilience. Let me say something that makes people uncomfortable. Most of the people who criticize east of the river haven't spent time there. Stand on the future site of the 11th Street Bridge Park, look westward towards Capitol Hill, then turn around towards Anacostia. That's where opportunity lives. Everyone knows Navy Yard now. Everyone knows the Wharf. Those plays are mature and priced in. East of the river is in the earlier cycle. Look at St. Elizabeth East, over 180 acres being stitched back into the city's grid with mixed income housing, retail, healthcare, and the entertainment and sports arena already anchoring that activity. Then there's the RFK Stadium campus, roughly 180 to 190 acres, in a city where roughly a quarter of the land is federally owned and building heights capped. That amount of land inside of the boundary is crazy. Walk through Anacostia mid-morning, sun hitting historic row homes, murals on brick, go-go floating from a passing car. You feel space, and that space is rare in DC. DC used to be a city you transferred into. Now it's a city people apply for. Population decline stabilized. International migration rebounded after 2020, and a large share of DC jobs are considered remote capable, meaning flexibility is here to stay. Hybrid work didn't empty the city, it filtered it. Rental absorption in core neighborhoods rebounded faster than condo pricing after rate spikes. Walk Logan Circle at dusk and patios are packed. Dogs weaving through sidewalk tables with music drifts from row houses. The rhythm is different, but the city is still very much alive. If you think DC is standing still, you're already behind. This isn't a growth cycle, it's a reset. Waterfront became lifestyle capital. Downtown is converting, not collapsing. Transit is thickening density. East of the river is unlocking rare land. Infrastructure is reinforcing durability, and people are choosing DC now. They're here because they want to be. This is the calm truth. By the time a shift is obvious, it's usually already priced in. We are your local Washington, DC real estate team of choice. This is our backyard. We track permits, absorption, infrastructure phasing, and neighborhood momentum every week. If you're buying, selling, relocating, or repositioning, Call us, text us, or email us. All of our contact information is in the description below. Appreciate you being here, and I'll catch you on the next one.